Got their issue with Dubois. We'll see what happens, but that's for them to overcome now. And it's a very difficult situation. That's a 24 hours on, 48 hours on from that. So the good news is they're heavyweights.
I'm a bit sick of it, to be honest. I feel as though the sport needs. We always used to take the piss. When I was younger, I remember cycling had such a bad reputation, everybody being a cheat. Had a really bad.
So I'm probably disappointed. I'm probably gutted. I'm something has to change, but I don't know who knew what. I'm thinking, why don't they just come out now then? You know, I knew, and I'm hearing everybody else is saying they've only just found out. It's
Breaking news, Canelo Alvarez has officially pulled out of the Crawford fight just one day before. Fans are stunned, and critics say this is exactly why questions about his hunger keep coming back. Canelo insists it's about credit, but the timing tells another story. Crawford's slick movement, his pound-for-pound dominance, it clearly rattled the Mexican superstar. Instead of proving his greatness in the ring, Canelo has chosen retreat, leaving the boxing world in shock.
Canelo doesn't really want to fight Crawford, right? He's never really liked that fight.
Of course.
For a couple of reasons. One, he feels that he's going to get no credit because he's much bigger than him. And two, he doesn't want to fight movers. Do you know what I mean?
And when Crawford finally responded, it was with the composure of a true champion, calm, respectful, but filled with quiet steel. This is the difference between the two men. Canelo may have walked away just a day before the fight, but Crawford stood tall, reminding the world that greatness isn't about excuses, it's about stepping up and facing the best. Where one retreats, the other rises.
I can say a lot of negative things about Canelo's resume, but I won't. You know, I wanna, you know, pay homage to the fighters that he fought, and if he don't wanna pay homage to the fighters I fought, if he think they nobodies, then come fight time, then I wonder what they're gonna say.
And when you hear the next voice, the contrast is brutal. Dave Allen may joke about quitting, but the irony cuts deep because this is exactly how Canelo looks right now. Pulling out just a day before the biggest fight isn't strategy, it's surrender, and the boxing world won't forgive it anytime soon.
And you know what? It's horrific to say I've quit. It's not horrific to say I'm quit. I'm chairman of the quit committee. I'm top quitter, I guess. Anyway.
Which brings us to the real debate. Was this truly a duck or something else? Johnny Nelson might try to soften the blow, but let's be honest, when a fighter pulls out just 24 hours before the bell, it doesn't whisper excuses, it screams ducking. Boxing isn't about waiting for the right opportunity, it's about courage in the moment, and Canelo's decision leaves fans with only one conclusion.
American broadcaster, he's no longer the challenger, he's the A-side, he's the one that can predict and he's not the opponent, so he's going to make the most of the opportunity that he's in. But I don't believe that he doesn't want to fight.
He's not ducking, is he?
Nah, he don't do that.
Because...
And as Tony Bellewy points out, the drama has already swallowed the fight whole, leaving fans asking what's real and what's spin. Bellew captures the sting. The people had bought in, hearts and wallets alike. Rivalries like this don't come around often, and anticipation was boiling over, but instead of war, we got excuses. Crawford stood ready to risk it all, while Canelo walked away. That's the cruel twist of this saga. Hope turned into heartbreak.
Part and parcel, when you get involved in these kind of things, you have to just accept it. And everyone's bought into the fight. We all know the drama, the rivalries.
And when Spencer Oliver and Simon Jordan speak, the message is brutal but fair. Actions at this level demand consequences. There are no mulligans when the stakes are legacy defining. Boxing is built on risk, courage, and the willingness to stand when others would fold. By retreating at the last minute, Canelo undermined all three. If you step back from the fire, the sport has every right to step back from you.
Yeah, listen, I've always been strong on that. I've always been strong on the fact that I don't believe in giving them a second chance.
You're basically saying, no 3 strikes and you're out.
No 3 strikes
and you're out.
No.
One, you fail a test and gone ski.
Absolutely, because I just believe then that moving forward, people would think twice about doing it. If they think, well, you know what, I'll get a second chance anyway. You know.
Teddy Atlas cuts through the noise. Real fighters chase the best. No excuses. Crawford stood tall, begging for the challenge. Canelo, he blinked when the moment of truth arrived. That contrast says it all. One man is chasing greatness, the other is running from it.
And what he wants to do. He wants to fight the best guy available. He was ready to fight the best guy available, the world champion fight. So give me the next best guy. Well, this guy, you sure? I mean, you want it? Yeah.
Frank Warren lays it bare. This isn't just disappointment, it's chaos. A global mega fight reduced to legal wrangling and finger pointing because Canelo Alvarez walked away at the 11th hour. This wasn't a business hiccup weeks out. It was a fighter quitting a day before. Crawford did everything right. Sacrificed, trained, risked his reputation. He showed up, Canelo didn't. Instead of honoring boxing, he left it in confusion. That's not pound for pound greatness, that's fear.
Let the penny drop that the fight could never go forward. And some of the stuff that's come out since about people being, the board being sued and something, and so forth, is just a non-runner. It's crazy.
Duke McKenzie nails the truth. Crawford wasn't just ready, he was fearless. Moving up 2 weight divisions without hesitation, predicting he'd outbox Canelo on points. That's greatness. No excuses, no fear, just belief. And then look at the other side. Canelo walking away a day before, the contrast couldn't be starker. One fighter dares to make history, the other abandons it. McKenzie sums it up. Crawford showed the mentality of a champion, while Canelo left the stage empty.
Well, he's pissed off. I mean, he was a big fight. He's trained very hard. If you don't fight, you don't get paid. You imagine the cost involved in a training camp, booking places to set the camp up, bringing the sparring partners in, the nutritionists, the chefs, the trainers and everybody, and you don't get paid. It's a massive loss. You can't insure it. Or if you do, it costs a fortune to insure. But very, very disappointed. It was a...
Bomac pulls back the curtain. Crawford's greatness isn't just skill, it's adjustments. The plan was simple: let Canelo have his early moments, then flip the switch, read him, and break him down like every other opponent. That's why Canelo's withdrawal stings. It wasn't just fear of power, it was fear of being outthought, outtimed, and outclassed. Bomac's confidence made it clear. Camp was perfect, strategy was locked, history was ready to be made. The only thing missing, a Canelo willing to walk through those ropes.
Class, you can give weight away, okay? But there's not a difference in class, in my opinion, in this fight. Canelo is not head and shoulders above Crawford in terms of class. If there is a class difference, it'll be in Crawford's favor. I think Crawford's much more class.
Eddie Hearn nails it. Canelo had nothing to lose. Even in defeat, his legacy was untouchable. Taking on a smaller man moving up in weight would only have added respect, not taken it away. But instead of daring, he ducked just a day before. Why? Not legacy, ego. Losing to Crawford would have bruised his pride more than his career. That's the ugly truth. Canelo didn't protect his record, he wrecked his reputation. Meanwhile, Crawford stood ready to seize history, test himself, and maybe shock the world. By walking away, Canelo handed Crawford the win without a punch being thrown.
Nutrition is everything, got to, like I said, hitting on all cylinders. So by the time you step in that ring, it's easy picking.
Now, you mentioned an interesting thing in an interview with one of our guys.
The fight that never happened may echo louder than many that did. Canelo Alvarez pulling out just a day before wasn't a cancellation, it was a statement about fear, pride, and the cost of legacy. Terence Crawford was ready to gamble everything, climbing 2 weight divisions in pursuit of greatness. Canelo, he chose safety over risk. Picture what was lost. Had Canelo beaten Crawford, his legend would have soared. But deep down, fans and analysts knew Crawford's adaptability, his slick footwork, his ability to read and dismantle opponents was the exact style to expose Canelo's flaws. So who was stronger mentally? Crawford, without question. He trains for war, not headlines. Who wanted it more? Crawford again, because he showed up. History remembers those who step forward, not those who step back. The disappointment is heavy, but the debate burns brighter than ever. Was Canelo protecting pride, or did Crawford truly lose his chance to prove greatness? The question now belongs to you. Whose side are you on?
If Terence, well, one, do you think if Canelo loses, it hurts anything to his legacy?
No, Canelo's an all-time great. He's an incredible fighter. And look, I actually think this is a bad fight for him because you're losing to a 147, obviously 154 now. Like, but the money's the money, and he was never going to turn